he had in the quarterfinals, and he goes up against Zezinho. Again, drama in that game as well. They had a substitution error due to the squad rules that have been in place. You need to be on your game, boys, to make sure that you're focused up.
And Zezinho is representing Team Hullet. Rude Hullet is here as well. The big boss is in town. You want to play well in front of the big boss.
You want to impress your boss. You always want to do that.
And Zezinho is representing Brazil, only South American in the Final 8, now in the Final 4. Just a reminder, these men are doubling their money basically here. Yeah, they're at 30K, could be at 60.
One thing that I want to talk about quickly here is look at the demeanor of the two players compared to their first game. I think everyone's just kind of settled into the tournament a little bit. DrNightWatch looks a little bit more composed, a little bit more calm than he did. But maybe that will change because it's time for our second semi-final. The winner of this game will go up against NYC Chris, all the way from the United States in America, for a shot at becoming the first ever eChampions League champion.
And to give you a little more information about these two players, DrNightWatch, the doctor isn't there just for show. It's because he does the most research. He knows everything about FIFA, he knows everything about all of his oppositions, and you could see multiple formation adjustments, players being used. And then Zezinho has the classic Brazilian flair. He's looking to score, and he wants to score often.
Well, Eusebio might be creating a chance here. DrNightWatch, he's almost surgically working his way through. De Gea, oh, he makes an absolute mess of it! We've been praising David De Gea all day. But when it comes down to a crunch moment, Zezinho has been let down by his goalkeeper.
Poor clearance there.
DrNightWatch takes the lead. He won't care how it goes in. No reaction, though, from Zezinho. Staying calm, staying composed, Mike. So vital at this stage in the tournament.
And for all the time that DrNightWatch has had off, he couldn't have asked for a better beginning. Even though it has some good fortune, he'll still take it. The goal counts the same.
So Zezinho with his first real opportunity to have possession of the ball. 7 minutes into the game, DrNightWatch with the lead. And Zezinho a little bit rattled maybe by that early goal. Gives it away fairly carelessly there. Ball over the top from DrNightWatch. Neymar in behind the defense. Da Costa, of all players, and it's two! The doctor is turning up in the semi-finals.
Decisive build-up, and that's what you see after you've already scored one. You can often add a second. Double your lead. Zezinho just doesn't feel like he's in this match just yet. He's just getting started.
He hasn't turned up yet, to be honest with you.
He's touched the ball once, and he's already conceded 2 goals.
But we do know he's a resilient character. We saw that in his quarterfinal, managing to work his way through what was an incredibly tough tie.
And he's got plenty of time to work with. Just to reiterate, this is all over 2 legs, and we use an aggregate system.
R9 then, first real chance for Zezinho to come forward. So it's CR7 who's managed to get into a position to maybe get a strike away. Mbappe maybe thinking about that finesse shot. Space here for Neymar. He's opened things up. Courtois down well to make the save.
And you're seeing with DrNightWatch, he's got the combination between Goretzka and Da Costa. Not necessarily common because it's brand new. Both of those Team of the Season players have just been introduced in the Bundesliga.
It was Da Costa who provided the assist for that first goal, the opening goal. And at the moment, DrNightWatch could not have asked for more going forward at the start of this game. 17 minutes gone. Everything going his way. 2 to the good. A little bit of fortune in that first goal, we have to say. But the second one, absolute class from DrNightWatch. Here is Da Costa then. Hullet and Goretzka both linking up in that midfield, and both so good, so versatile going forward, going back, and that's going to be a great option. You know, you look at Patrick Vieira, he's kind of a one-dimensional player a little bit, more defensive-minded, but having both Hullet and Goretzka, that's going to give you so much variety in your midfield.
You have to respect that both your center mids can step into space and be offensive, be aggressive, be a factor.
Shot from distance there from DrNightWatch, trying to catch Zezinho off guard. Mbappe in towards that front post. R9 gets the header away, and R9 clears the ball off his front post to a centre-back, Rafael Varane, who was the furthest player up the pitch.
And we've seen Zezinho make many comebacks over the competitive season at a variety of events.
And
so this is
the initial tackle there. Sorry to cut you off there, Mike, because there might be a chance. Just starting to open itself up. Courtois doesn't get down. Oh, it's a mess.
That almost feels deserved after the first goal.
I was about to say, whatever De Gea can do, Courtois can do worse. Does that work?
A little FIFA karma. Those won't look good on the replay tapes.
A ball ended up in the back of the net. 3 players ended up in the back of the net with it. And it's Virgil van Dijk who will be credited with the own goal there. Not the prettiest of goals you ever see, but it's on the scoreboard. 2-1 now. And Zezinho's found his way back into the game. This is where DrNightWatch needs to keep that composure. Mbappe with the corner, whips it in. De Gea gets a punch up. Bullet from distance there. It was time green again. It seems like DrNightWatch at the moment is testing Zezinho out from distance. You think that maybe he's done a bit of research, like we say, and recognises he doesn't move his goalkeeper that much?
I think it's part of DrNightWatch's game where he wants to take some long shots. It also forces corner kicks. And if you rate yourself as someone who can convert corner kicks, shooting for a corner is not the worst thing in the world.
Here's Zezinho then trying to turn back. There's so many men behind the ball, but he's found a pocket of space here. Mbappe can't get past that physical presence of Da Costa, the 6'2" frame. And now DrNightWatch. Well, he goes route one, finding Cristiano Ronaldo. Slightly sloppy pass in that situation. You know, I'd see maybe DrNightWatch just wait for a little bit more assistance coming from midfielder.
Felt a little too direct. Need to pull it back. A little mini reset, so to speak.
Here's CR7 then. Back to Vieira, something brewing here for Zezinho. What a tackle that is by Ruud Gullit. Didn't look in position to make that tackle, but he made it work. And now Eusebio's trying to release Neymar, but Telles gets up and makes the header.
And often, especially at the competitive level, everyone understands the meta and has a mastery. It's helpful to show various attacking maneuvers or attacking techniques in order to give yourself more freedom later on in a game.
There's another fantastic move there from Zezinho. He's pulling the defense apart. There's the Cricketta! And Courtois this time makes a much better job of making the save. Neymar in towards the box. Courtois comes out. And at 6'6", that's going to be his all day.
Only player in the tournament using Courtois, and it's mainly for that reason, to stop those crosses. Gives you a little bit of extra height compared to De Gea. Some believe that he's better in the air if you're bringing him out.
His kicking is an issue. It's one reason that we don't see players using him too much. You've just seen an example of it there, Mike, just putting the ball straight out of play.
This is where it's important to be honest about your gameplay. What kind of goals do you score? What kind of goals do you concede? What's going to allow you to have the ultimate level of success?
Half-time whistle approaching then. Mbappe into Neymar.
Ooh.
Little 5-star combination there. Got defended though by DrNightWatch, and now he can kind of come away, and I think that will be it. Maybe one more chance to go forward, actually. 3 minutes of added time here. And Ronaldo's in behind. Just as I'm waiting for the whistle to go, DrNightWatch is saying, I want a third, and he finds it! A perfect finish, playing to the whistle. And that 2-goal lead is restored.
And you just talked about him waiting for runs. Talk about good timing. Waiting for the play to develop, going backward, going side to side, going forwards. A lot of first-time passes there. Everybody in the best position in order to create this opportunity. It's late, it's great, and it carries momentum into the second half.
And it's also green. The time finish that came in at the end of that move from Eusebio has restored the 2-goal advantage. So DrNightWatch start this half, came out of the blocks hot. Took that 2-goal lead. Zezinho managed to pull one back. The last kick of the game essentially there in the first half. has restored that 2-goal lead. DrNightWatch is looking good, Mike.
And I don't think either player needs to make adjustments at this point. The Doctor has 3 goals. He's happy about those 3 goals. Zezinho, after conceding 2 early goals, basically back-to-back, he really controlled the game until giving up that counterattack. He even started to make the comeback, started to forge a run, so to speak. Started to put a little more pressure on DrNightWatch, and we were seeing more deep balls from DrNightWatch. He was trying to hit it deep down the wings, less possession play. Zezinho starting to crawl back in.
He's one of those players, he's a dangerous player, Zezinho. If you do kind of sit back, if you play that deeper line in your defense and your midfield, you invite that pressure because he has got that little something up his sleeve to beat a man, and then all of a sudden, your defense gets pulled left and right, and he can find that killer ball. It's all about concentration, this for DrNightWatch. Although it is a valid strategy, it has its risks as well.
It's very important for DrNightWatch to limit mistakes. Some would say he was fortunate to get by Alan Avi with some of the mistakes he had out of the back. The switches of the pitch, and just some rushed passing. And when we did the interview, he was shaking. We saw him out of character in terms of the nerves. Seems like he's settled those. Looks a little more himself in this matchup.
I 100% agree. He looks like a completely different character to what we saw earlier in the day. He looks focused. He looks like he knows what he wants to achieve here. And he's settled into the game that he has played thousands and thousands of games of this year. Zezinho, though, has released Neymar, and R9 is in the box, maybe waiting for a cross. It just looked a little bit desperate, to be honest with you, which is surprising at this point in the game. Tellez is doing what he can to upset the rhythm here of DrNightWatch. Da Costa, though, exposing that space left by the fullback, being aggressive. Varane now into Eusebio. Chance really starting to develop here. But Tellez does get back into position to win it back.
And you can see Zezinho is cued for a pause, so he doesn't like something.
Ramos. Finding Neymar. Van Dijk steps in. He doesn't win the ball, though. That's going to invite Ronaldo into the box. There's a cricketer, and the frame of Hullet is enough to keep him at bay. DrNightWatch then coming forward once more, and you have to wonder if he's thinking about getting the job done here in this first half. Mbappe back into Ruud Hullet.
You got to say, out of the competitors left, DrNightWatch plays the most deep ball. He's looking for those long releases.
Goretzka now on the ball, tries to find Cristiano Ronaldo. I'd also say that as far as game management is concerned, DrNightWatch is certainly one of those players you'd put up there. Goretzka comes forward then. Linking up with Ruud Hullet. Such well all-rounded foot items. You see the attempted elastico is going to break here for Goretzka. Maybe thinking about a shot himself instead of cheeky little back heel. Lets this one run out of play, and it'll be a corner here to DrNightWatch.
And you're seeing that advantage of having Goretzka and Ruud Hullet in the midfield. We touched on it earlier, but you have to respect that they can step forward into space. They can create opportunities. Just think if Goretzka had the skill moves to go with the weak foot and basically all 90 attributes. You almost have a German Hullet. About the same size, doesn't have an equal weak foot, doesn't have the skills. But other than that, statistic-wise,
he's up there. He's certainly up there.
Maybe a discount Hullet.
A B-Tech Hullet. I wouldn't even put him that way. He's an absolutely phenomenal foot item, the German. Fantastic season for Bayern Munich. Obviously moved there from Schalke in the summer. Back underway then. Approaching the last 20 minutes or so in this first leg. Eusebio on the pitch and Mbappe off the pitch.
We also see Modric being brought on, as well as Team of the Season Son, who hasn't been impactful yet in this tournament.
Well, Havertz has certainly been impactful. Finds the ball inside to R9. Another player who, when presented with a chance, you know he's going to make the most of it. Zezinho defends well. And the fact that Zezinho's had to spend most of this game actually defending Mike. Has really got to start playing on his mind, because he is a player who likes to have possession, who likes to have the ball to create chances, and maybe he can do that now. Or just run out of play.
And you've got to say, if you can manufacture a couple million coins, the foot item to pick up is that team of the season, Havertz.
Eusebio, beautiful fake shot around the corner. And Maldini, with a desperate last-ditch challenge, just gets the ball over the bar. But pressure here from Zezinho. Corner, Van Dijk's there! One goal the difference. And if you're wondering right now why there's a shake of the head from Nightwatch, he's been a bit cursed in recent tournaments, in recent games, conceding those headers from corners. And he's found himself on the receiving end of yet another Virgil van Dijk header.
Goal for the visitor.
And we talked about it, Zezinho had time. He's only down a goal, which means nothing. Every single match that we've seen at this tournament has been close. Why would it be any different?
It's almost become predictable that these games are going to be close. That there's going to be one goal between them, that we're going to go to extra time, that we're going to have everything to play for. That's how you answer back. He was disappointed to concede from the corner. He's gone straight up the other end. And their first time shot there from R9. It just restores that cushion he had a moment ago.
R9's never missing from there. Not that it matters if it's on his dominant foot or his weak foot, but anything on the edge of the box or inside the box, it's almost automatic.
As you say, almost robotic with his finishing. 97 rated, prime icon moments. That's an interesting discussion as well. Even, we look back to the time before the prime icon moment foot items were in the game. The 96 kind of fell out of favour with a few pros. But the 97, I mean, he's back for sure. He's straight in those starting lineups.
See one of the issues with DaCosta. If you get him forward, a little bit clunky. Not going to be an attacker on the same level as the Marcelos or the Cancelos or even the Lalas.
Well, this is beautiful from Nightwatch, trying to tee up a volley there to himself. Another corner for him here. Plays this one short, just 6 minutes to go here, and this is smart. This is what I expect to see from Dr. Nightwatch, is taking his time, recognizing the situation, being strategic in how he approaches this game. R9 turns back inside. Will win the ball back, maybe a chance to strike it here. Scoop turn, or defended by Zezinho, just stayed on his feet, didn't dive into that tackle.
Clever work there on the edge of the box. If he had anyone other than Ruud Gullit defending him, you got to think R9 would have been at an advantage.
Courtois will come off his line there to collect that. Zezinho, unfortunately, not being able to find the pass to maybe create another chance. Goretzka now in midfield, a little bit of space in behind here. The keeper should claim that one, and he does. Gets absolutely clattered, but referee will let that one run out as we come to the end of stoppage time here at the first leg. There is the whistle. Couldn't have gone better for Dr. Nightwatch. He takes a 2-goal advantage into the second leg.
And Dr. Nightwatch has to be happy with himself. Been able to battle back. I mean, obviously started the game well. He was up 2 goals. Zezinho started to kind of inch back into the match. And then he was able to extend once again late, 4-2, carries that into the next leg. If he scores first, a 3-goal spread, we haven't seen that at this event. And it does start to mess with you. Even if you're one of the strongest players mentally, you've got to think, can I make this comeback?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big question you start asking of yourself. It raises so many more issues. You start questioning not only your own game, but your opponent's game. It becomes a real sort of juggling act mentally. It's like you're throwing different questions up or something. You know what I'm trying to say. That was almost as bad an analogy as normally you give, to be honest with you. But you get what I'm trying to say.
I start with a disclaimer before I give you a suspect.
Yeah, I just went
analogy.
straight in. I knew it was going to be terrible. But let's talk about what his opponent has to do here, Zezinho, because he really didn't have too much control in that game, in my opinion. I feel like Dr. Nightwatch he's almost lured him in. He's done that preparation, and things seem to be going his way. It's almost as if that's what he's expecting to see, and his game plan is working a little bit different to what we saw in the quarterfinal, where it didn't quite work.
And DrNightWatch's approach to playing FIFA is difficult on the other end because he's trying to take you out of the game. He's always thinking about the mental battle of himself versus whoever that opposition is. And he does so much research in terms of playing styles. He knows what you don't like, or he knows what you prefer, and he's always trying to counteract that.
Well, if you know what he does like, it's scoring goals. You can see it there, 5.67. His goals average, which is pretty healthy. You have to say he's been scoring goals pretty well.
He's been efficient. At the end of the day, it's all about being clinical. How many games have we commentated where one of the players makes 10 chances, converts 2 of them, loses 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, whatever it might be, but it's just about taking those opportunities in those key moments, because you don't get that many second or third chances. That's just not how FIFA works, not at the competitive level, not at tier 1.
And you can see his road to this semi-final. Took down Alan Abbey 4-3 in extra time. No surprise there, if you've been watching all day. And then you look at this one. Zezinho won 4-3 against Joxan in the quarterfinals. And guess what, Mike? That was extra time as well. Here we go then, second leg about to get underway. 2-goal advantage here for DrNightWatch. NYC Chris is the prize that one of these players will get to go up against in the grand final.
And I like the switch of kits. This could be what he needs. Sometimes you're superstitious. Bring out the orange kits, ready to go. Be a little more vibrant.
Chance here. Block from Maldini. Or maybe it's just channeling everything into Ruud Gullit that he can. Represents Team Gullit. The orange and white.
Oh,
off on it, but no! That's absolutely nightmarish! And it's another mistake that has been punished here in Madrid.
That's going to sit with him internally. He shouldn't be throwing the ball out there. He was going to try to header it back to the goalkeeper. He fails. It's an easy finish for R9. She's never going to miss from there. And for someone who's down a couple goals, maybe starting to feel the pressure, Zezinho, you just let him right back in.
And it's just like that again, Mike. It's just like that again. It's 1 goal.
You laid out the red carpet in Hollywood and said, come on through. Were you trying to be an actor? We welcome you. Put you on the big screen. Is that a better analogy?
I have absolutely no idea how to respond to that, but one thing I can do is look at how DrNightWatch is going to respond to conceding that goal. Zezinho, perfect start for him in this second leg here. Now it's just a 1 goal. It's just completely different now.
The reason this is so important is because Zezinho no longer has to rush or has to chase. He's got plenty of time. It's a 1-goal spread. Doesn't need to make any adjustments.
Well, here's Neymar then for Nightwatch. Gets the ball back inside. Ronaldo does manage to get the ball back to Neymar. Header won by the defender there, Virgil van Dijk, and now it'll be Zezinho coming forward. Gullit, the man who was so impactful for Zezinho in his quarterfinal game against Joxan. Mbappe. Is that ball just going to squeeze through? Almost won it back with a slide tackle, but does get possession back. But Nightwatch just bites into the tackle there with Eusebio. Neither player able to hold possession at the moment, to be honest with you, but Neymar's got round his man. Gullit is an option. He's going to be utilised here. Gets the ball back out to Neymar now. Little roulette there from Nightwatch. There's the little stop-up and the scoop turn. Van Dijk back to the goalkeeper. Good, calm defending there by Zezinho in a pressure situation.
And you got to say, the Doctor has a bit of an unorthodox style when he goes forward. He looks for the deep ball first, which is not everybody's #1 option. And then once he gets it up there, you could see an early cross, you could see a secondary switch, you could see him recycle the play. It's difficult to predict at times.
See both players trying to use that long ball at the moment, and Maldini's got some work to do. Had to scoot back into defence there and make that clearance, and Zezinho comes forward now. Ronaldo, Gullit's out of the game. Gullit's on the overlap as well, and Goretzka and Da Costa combining on that right-hand side there to win the ball back for Nightwatch, and here he comes forward. Look at the space out wide here for Kylian Mbappe. Comes back inside. Eusebio, shot from distance. Blocked fairly comfortably, though, by Zezinho.
We're also looking at different play styles in terms of Zezinho looking to get the ball inside. He wants to use those skill moves.
Oh!
Talk about a connection. Hold that thought.
I think that might have been a save or something, or a deflection, because it's a corner here for Zezinho. I didn't see Courtois move quite enough for my liking. Another header on goal, and Courtois has to get up, and Nightwatch is looking so vulnerable from these set pieces.
A little love touch from Courtois.
Eusebio finally gets it clear. Ronaldo. Dropping deep here to collect the ball. Zezinho's controlling the game, but can't find the finish to beat the frame of the big Belgian down at his near post.
Let's recycle what I was saying. Zezinho's looking to build up, get the ball into the box, whether that's with skill moves or quick passing. And on the other end, Nightwatch is using the deep ball, and he likes to set up first-time shots from outside of the box as one of his main offensive weapons.
Let's see if he continues with that tactic as we get deeper into this game. Just one goal still between them. 4-3 on aggregate in the advantage of Nightwatch. Da Costa. Into Ronaldo. Space here for Neymar. Going to be closed down almost immediately. Lovely little turn away and a little back heel. Finds Mbappe. Going to pick up the pieces, and there will be a free kick here to Nightwatch. What's he got up his sleeve? It's actually, sorry, it's Zezinho.
Oh, unforced error.
Speaking of which, he gets the ball back here with CR7. Ronaldo finds the ball into Neymar. Linesman's flag is going to stay down, and Da Costa has to get his frame in the way to block the strike there from Kylian Mbappe. Now this is worrying here for Nightwatch. Ronaldo picks the ball up, gets it onto his right foot. Goretzka wrestling. And Maldini times that tackle superbly.
As you see Neymar breaking into space, very classic with Nightwatch. Gonna pull it back, look for a recycle.
And here's Hullet into CR7. A step over, an Elasticar, and he goes down.
Oh, surely that's a penalty.
Referee gives nothing.
Bring out VAR.
And now look at this. From one end to the other, Neymar. And Van Dijk gets back, and I think Nightwatch would have certainly shook his head.
I'm telling you, Virgil van Dijk is a brick house when he's running around. You cannot get through him. Once he lunges in, it's going to be a tackle or it's going to be a foul. You're not progressing.
Oh, Nightwatch is in here. Huge chance here for Nightwatch, and he takes it! Absolutely buried in that bottom left-hand corner. And that is huge in the context of this semi-final.
He nearly messed it up. He started to slow down. He wanted to see if the goalkeeper was going to scoot a little bit early. Lines it up. Cristiano Ronaldo hits it into the side netting. Nothing you can do about it.
You make it sound so simple, but in these pressure situations, those moments, we've already seen it today, Mike. Players can make mistakes. 2 goals the advantage now, just before halftime as well.
We've got to give a lot of credit to Nightwatch. He's had a couple less than stellar decisions out of the back with some of his passing, but when he gets an opportunity, he's been very clinical.
Nightwatch will have a chance to go forward once more here. Into stoppage time at the end of the first half. And just a reminder, this is the second semi-final of the eChampions League. NYC Chris waits in the final for the winner of this game. And there is the halftime whistle. And Mike LaBelle, Dr. Nightwatch, has got 1 foot in the final.
And when you look at the grand scheme of everything, on one end, people were talking about Marcuso, they're talking about Levinkin, even Rafsu. A lot of people overlook Chris. Said, I don't know if this is going to be Chris' tournament. Well, he's sitting in the final. Now let's visit this side of the bracket. You had Jackson and Zezinho. People saying Jackson's the favorite. Zezinho progresses. On the other end, they said Allen, Dr. Nightwatch. Both of them are underdogs. We didn't expect them to be able to win a tournament. We didn't think they'd progress. And that's not me talking, just listening to the community. A lot of people were surprised. Nightwatch is 45 minutes away. 2-goal spread right now. he adds to it one more, you think when you got the three-piece, that's going to be enough to separate him.
If you want to roll the tapes back to Manchester, who did I predict?
Please insert that tape. I don't know who you predicted, but I need proof if these guys were in your finals.
I'm not saying anything. But DrNightWatch was certainly one of my picks to keep an eye on. Not sure if that quite counts as a pick, but anyway, back underway here. And Nightwatch is almost immediately in behind as well. He's utilising that over-the-top through ball so effectively. Maybe he's trying to target Telles. Falls back here to Ronaldo. Mbappe. Too many bodies in the way to test the goalkeeper. Taking short now.
And we constantly talk about how DrNightWatch is a student of the game. And I feel that he has figured out something with how to get in behind immediately. These deep ball releases, no other pro competitor has been doing it in this tournament. And that is one of those benefits of the grind, putting in that additional time and adjusting tactics and experimenting with tactics.
And also pulling something out new in a tournament where you haven't seen it. For Zezinho, he's probably thinking, hey, what's going on here? You know, this is something I hadn't prepared for.
And we talk all the time about different play styles, whether it's somebody from North America, South America, and Europe. DrNightWatch coming from Bulgaria, now living in Romania.
He's going to have to defend here, and he does so.
Maybe also having a bit of a different style when you're dealing with going towards the Eastern Europeans.
You can see the focus on both of the player cams at the moment. Zezinho has a lot of players upfield at the moment. You are going to see that pause cued now. It's the final roll of the dice, really. 2 goals he needs to make up. We're on the hour mark, and DrNightWatch, well, he's after more. Mbappe into the box. The header was green, but the defender was equal to it. Here's Eusebio. And there is that pause as the referee blows a whistle for a free kick. What do you go to, Mike?
Depends on where you're comfortable. For me, typically, I like to stay in the 4-2-3-1 or even a 4-4-2. Very comfortable in both formations. However, I'll make substitutes, and then I will also adjust the tactics, and that's the big key. I'm now going to press you much higher up the pitch. My depth going way up. Even my width, I'll go wider because I don't want you swinging it side to side, not for free. You got to pay a toll, the mic pressure toll. I don't know if that sounds that good, but you get what I'm saying.
I like that
you want to change the pace and the feel and the rhythm and the vibe of the game. You want someone to feel your pressure, feel your presence on the pitch on the defensive end. You're no longer sitting back. You're not going to be passive. You've got to take additional risk, additional chances. We have 30 minutes left of in-game time here. As Zezinho scores, it changes the dynamic mentally for DrNightWatch.
And of course, you've got to remember as well, something as simple as you need to put some in-game tactics into play to win the ball back, Mike. You need to put pressure on. You need to apply that team press. It's all well and good having everything set up, but if you ain't got the ball, you ain't going to have a chance to score. Nightwatch with the free kick. Taking short. Havertz, beautiful ball around the corner. Mbappe gets there. Oh, and it's a goal! And the clinic is open for the doctor.
That was one of those set pieces where it was like a no, 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 yes. Felt like the pass that he was able to put Mbappe into sort of a 50-50, but it seemed as if the defender had a step on him. And it worked out for him. You get the pass across. Gareth Bale, who's somebody that only DrNightWatch uses, converts on the opportunity, and he's not going to miss from there. We can make that happen as well. And you got to start to question now, does Zezinho have enough time to recoup 3 goals?
And the way that Nightwatch is attacking as well, you just feel like maybe he's going to be looking for even more, to be honest with you. He's really starting to hit rhythm. He said it himself earlier in his interview in the quarterfinal, Mike. He was saying, that was terrible. I did not play good FIFA. But I understand that sometimes champions win games when they're not playing well. Now he is playing well. He is a dangerous customer! And all of a sudden, things are getting out of hand.
That's a GG. Not going to recover from 4 goals. And it comes down to being clinical. Every time he's had a chance, he's converted it. Time and time again.
Number 4, Cristiano Ronaldo.
And if you've been following the competitive scene this year, you got to appreciate this. He's grinded. Never had a breakthrough in the first half of the season. Only towards the later portions did you start to see Dr. Nightwatch get better results, improved results. Then he beat F2 Tex.
Oh, but he's got this offside trap all wrong. One back for Zezinho. And if there's anything we know about this tournament, Mike, it's that it's certainly full of surprises.
It's an unpredictable tournament. Recovering 3 goals. Actually recovering a 4-goal spread. That's beyond a surprise. It's a FIFA miracle.
Number 10, Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think Nightwatch is going to take that, put it in the mental bank and think, I can't give too many chances away, but he has a chance here to restore the lead. Blink and you'll miss it.
He's putting on a goal-scoring clinic. And he's regained now that 4-goal spread. And I was going to say his competitive FIFA year really turned when he was able to eliminate F2 Tex in Manchester to qualify for this event. Not only for his confidence and self-belief, but also his competitors. They have to say, oh, I don't want this matchup.
I think it's a fear factor that you all of a sudden install in yourself. You gotta think, if you beat the best in the world, you can beat anyone.
And people second guess against you. No, maybe he knows something we don't know. I can't play the same way. I'm gonna put this guy on a pedestal. That's a very dangerous mindset.
Well, Zezinho does win the ball back here, but 8-4 the aggregate score here. He quite simply has to score with every single attack going forward. Modric into Hullet, Mbappe on the right. There's the right boot of Thibaut Courtois, who turns it behind. Modric cuts it back, Da Costa gets it away. And you have to say, Mike, time is the factor here. And I just don't think there's enough time for Zezinho to even create these chances. Hullet's in behind, and ooh, a strike from distance.
And you gotta say, Zezinho hasn't been bad on the offensive end, but defensively has not been able to deal with this attack from Nightwatch. Whether it's the crosses, it's the wing outlets, the first time shooting, some of the build-up play, or even the counterattacks, those releases on the pitch. He's had no answer on the defensive end.
Well, Havertz is looking to play the ball across here. Van Dijk's going to get it away. Well, at this point in the game, I think we all know the result. 8-4 on aggregate. And this is more of a victory lap, to be honest, for you from Dr. Nightwatch. Zezinho's going to do what he can to make a game of this. Maybe there is a miracle here in Madrid, or maybe it is that victory parade.
And there's no shame in being top 4 best players in the world and also collecting an additional $30,000. Representing South America very well, especially Brazil, where he's from. Only South American, obviously only a Brazilian then as well. Major FIFA community there. And Brazilians typically travel very well at tournaments, even if it's somebody that you're not as familiar with. If they were able to get through that bracket in order to qualify for an LQE, a Foot Champions Cup, E-Nations if you're representing your country,
there will be a minimum of 3 minutes.
E-Club,
added time.
E-Champions, you know they're going to be quality. Carry a certain reputation.
I'm sure he's done absolutely everybody back home incredibly proud, Zezinho. It's been a great run. It's been a great tournament. One of the surprise packages of Manchester, but it doesn't matter now because there's only one name that's going through to that final. Dr. Nightwatch is in the final of the eChampions League. What a performance, Mike.
Indeed, he's in the final. He's the only free agent not signed to a club.